Welcome back to the Upper Echelon Podcast. I'm a little early today, y'all, because I said 12, but I decided to go ahead and just hit the live button at 11. Because I have something I got to take care of later. So let's get into the topic, y'all. What is going on? Good morning, happy Saturday. Hey, Nita M, Miss Green Eyes, Sweet Queen. Sorry, you guys. Hold on one second. So today we're going to get into the topic of Ekane and Chris and the toxicity in their relationship. And I really want to talk about, or we're going to also talk about Aunt D and Shay. I'm going to let you guys know who that is if you are unaware before we get into that. But today we're going to talk about Ekane and Chris. Okay, if you guys are not familiar with Ekane, she is a very, very popular hair or wig influencer on social media. She's on YouTube, she's on TikTok, she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram, and she has made a name for herself when it comes to the hair game. Not only that, but she has an infectious personality. Y'all, it seems like every time, as soon as I get on live, I start getting inboxes every time. Okay, she has made a name for herself with her infectious personality. She is funny. She is a trendsetter. However, she is in what I consider to be an abusive relationship. Now, everything that I am mentioning on this channel, any content that I'm using is for criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, and scholarship. And of course, everything is alleged, and I'm giving my opinion on a lot of things. Okay. Now, recently, she exposed to her social media platforms that she was pregnant. I don't know. I see here in this video that she recently posted with the fight that she had with Chris. She's clearly pregnant again, but she's too small to be really, really far along. And she announced that she was pregnant before. Then she went live and said she was getting rid of it. So I think she might have terminated that pregnancy and she got pregnant again by this guy. They already have two kids together, a little boy and a little girl. Thank you, Lakeith Myers, for your support. I appreciate that. You guys, I forgot to mention, I do have a goal set today of 10 super chats. If you would like to support me in that way, you can send me a super chat or a super sticker. If you would like to support me through my Cash App, it's pinned at the bottom of the screen. Thank you again, Lakeith Myers. But see, and you know, her situation with Chris reminds me of a lot of the controversy between Halle Bailey and DDG, and I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of people are saying that Halle Bailey is bitter. She doesn't have a right to take the man's child, well, not take him away, but put so many restrictions and limitations on the visits between him and his child. But I look at E. Kane and her situation with Chris, and she's getting so much backlash because she's allowing her children to be in a situation with their father in the home who is clearly verbally abusive, physically abusive, because we've seen reports of that. Thank you so much, that one, for that super chat. I appreciate y'all support. And she remains in a relationship with him. 1 minute they're on, 1 minute they're off. And the thing about it is that it's affecting the children at this point. And the video that I'm going to play is going to show you guys, well, the second video is going to show you guys how it's taken an effect on her children. And it really speaks to the importance of, are you a good mom if you're allowing your children to witness you being abused after so many years? Now, I understand the dynamic of a domestic violence relationship and how long it may take to get out of that situation. But when you see it start to affect your kids, you are the one that becomes responsible for getting them out of that situation and from witnessing those types of things. So I'm going to play this, y'all. And when I tell y'all, when I saw how Chris was talking to her and what he was doing in front of those kids, I can't even describe the feeling that I got. What's going on? Hey, bro. Hey, D-Ham. I'm talking about, I got so upset listening to how he was talking to her. Y'all gonna see. And it was like she really didn't know how to react to it. So she was kind of, laughing it off. But This is the type of thing, mind you, while he's talking to her, he's holding the baby. So let's play a little bit.
Oh, he's finished. All this shit for live. Oh, he's finished. He's finished. So. I've been at peace all day.
Right.
Chilling.
All right.
Would it be nice to stay here? Yeah.
All right.
Do I got somewhere to go? No. But you want to start this weird ass shit.
Okay.
And then I already told you what my PO said.
All right.
And you just keep putting me on your camera.
Okay.
And I already told you what he said.
You hold him up.
And then you go back
you,
up again.
What did you do? Bro, you're home. Bro, I just made that play. Yo, I didn't.
Y'all see that? So I don't even know what they arguing about. Now, there's a lot of people in the comments saying that she's provoking him to behave that way. I didn't hear anything that she said to provoke him. The only thing that I can see that she might be doing that's provoking him is she's smiling. So when somebody is upset and you're smiling, it can, further anger or further anger them. So I understand that. But smiling and laughing sometimes is a response to anxiety. So she's probably smiling and laughing because she really doesn't know what else to say. Mind you, during this, she's on live. And mind you, he's also holding the baby. So she may not really know how to respond to his behavior. So let me just show y'all. So she cooks dinner. Now tell me, even though, listen, this is an abusive relationship. No, he didn't hit her. No, he didn't throw the plate at her. But the fact that you holding the baby and doing all of this, she needs to get far away from him as fast as she can. And this is posted on social media.
Okay.
And then I already told you what my PO said.
All right.
And you just keep putting me on your camera.
Okay.
And I already told you what he said.
You hold him up.
And then you go back up again.
What did you do? Bro, you're home. Bro, I just made that play. Yo, I didn't say nothing to him.
You an internet ass bitch.
I was on live before you got. I've been cooking.
He cussing and doing all of this, holding the baby. Use an ignorant ass bitch in front of the baby. She need to get far away from him.
All day.
Okay, Chris, just leave.
What?
Just leave.
I just cooked that food, drove for 8
hours. I got somewhere to go? No.
I just cooked that for 3 hours. Mommy, go upstairs. Thank you. It's
weird
okay.
Ass girl.
Damn.
Weird ass shit. Bye, cause I
didn't even. I was just saying, please have you.
I want to be on some weird Chris. You
leave. I didn't say that.
You asked me to get there.
Did I? Look how you acting in front of your kids. Relax.
Like I like somebody begging to be with you.
Why you just throw the food I just made?
Where? Do I got a place? Do I got a crib to go to?
Oh my God.
You want to do this weird shit? I don't got nowhere to go.
But you
no, I don't got no crib to go to. Now let's get out.
You said I asked you to leave 10 times and you still be quiet. Why are you trying to do this in front of my kids?
Now you can hear the baby in the background screaming. This is not, I don't know what this is, but this is not a man right here. You don't sit there holding the baby, you throwing plates around the kitchen. The glass could have broke when you threw it. And then all of this is happening online. It comes to a point, just like with that whole the situation, she's getting Halle Bailey is getting a lot of backlash for putting stipulations in place for visitation for DDG. But see, you can't win for losing, because if she's in a DV relationship, the woman is gonna get backlash for putting stipulations in place. Then if she don't put stipulations in place and she allow him to keep coming back, keep on doing the same abusive behavior, she get backlash for that, for not protecting the kids. So it comes to a certain point where what is right and what is wrong. In my opinion, as a mom, it starts to become your fault when you see how damaging his behaviors are, and you keep allowing him in your home. It was even a point, I believe it was this particular night, where he got put out, so he ended up leaving, and then he ended up breaking back into her home. In my opinion, Ekane needs to put down some ground rules about what is going on. I understand she done got pregnant again, but she needs to put some ground rules down. You can't come over during this time. That behavior is unacceptable. If you're going to act like that around the kids, we're going to have to get the laws involved, something. But she literally lets this bum ass nigga in her home running amok. And this has been going on for years. Like, Ekane is in a very public DV relationship. very public, and they cashing out on it. Hold on, y'all. Let me play the other video. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let me pull this one down and pull the other one up.
I didn't mean to make that a format.
Huh?
I didn't mean to make that a format.
You didn't make it more mad for me.
So I don't know if y'all can hear what the little girl's saying, but you can't really see her either because she's out of the shot of the camera. But what she's telling her mom, and look what he did to the wall. Look what he did to the wall and to the floor. She's telling her mom is, I think I made dad more mad. So she is blaming herself. So this lady is really, in my opinion, teaching her daughter that abuse is her fault. This is what she's learning from this situation, that it is okay to put up with this type of behavior in your home. It's okay to be dealing with somebody that is violent and out of control like this. And she's learning that it's possibly her fault. So she's learning to blame other people's behaviors on herself. I don't even think that Ekane is understanding how serious this is. I don't know if she's realizing that these kids are getting older and they're starting to pay attention. So she's believing that she made him mad. So now she's placing the blame on herself. She need to get him out there. She's pregnant. Now, I don't know if she announced the pregnancy, but she clearly is pregnant. Because remember, that's what I said when I initially went live. She was pregnant at first, some months ago, and then she said she was going to terminate it. But here in this video, she clearly looked pregnant again. Brandy says she is not innocent though. She starts and agitates, then records. When he gets to cutting up, they are both toxic, and he needs to separate. This was a bad one. They need to leave each other alone. I agree. She does agitate him. She does provoke him. I've seen videos where she says some stuff that'll make anybody snap to him. So she does. They both need to separate from each other. But see, on this particular one, the fact that you are holding, and I'm talking about Chris, you're holding the baby. At what point do you have some self-control over yourself? Regardless of if she agitating you, making you mad or not. I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. You sitting here walking around with your small child in your arm and throwing a glass plate at the wall, regardless of what she said. Now, she may have agitated him, but if it gets to the point where you got to be throwing shit around the house while you carrying them, it's time to leave. It's time to leave.
I didn't make my mad.
Yes, I did.
Why do you think you made him more mad?
Because I tell him to stop.
To stop yelling? It's okay. He wouldn't get mad at you, mommy. Your papa won't get mad at you. He was mad at me, girl.
This is sad. I mean, seriously, this is a sad existence. I just don't even know how I don't know how people deal with shit like this. I would never. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than nobody or I got more sense than nobody. Because at one point in all of our lives, I'm pretty sure we all put up with something that we really look back on now and say, what the fuck was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? Why would I put up with something like that? We all, for the most part, I think, have put up with something or dealt with someone longer than we should have. And now that we look back and we know who we are and we know what we bring to the table and we know our value, we look back now and say, God damn, I would never put up with that today. So I think that one of these days, that probably both of them are going to have an aha moment where they're like, you know what, this ain't gonna work, because I don't know how long they're gonna be able to stay in a relationship doing this. I really don't. I really don't. Somebody gonna end up getting hurt. And then the worst part about it is, why are you yelling and hollering at her while she pregnant and throwing shit around the house? And this is a pregnant lady. I just don't understand. He has no respect for her at all. None. And maybe she ain't got none for him. I don't know. I think they've been through so much in their relationship, and it's been so much drama, especially since they've been on social media, that at this point they probably don't have no respect for each other. At this point, I do think they probably need to separate.
I don't think I can ever get mad at you for, you know, you his princess, honey. You know Zaza can't do no wrong, queen. You know that. He's not mad at you. He just mad at me.
I'm gonna say this because I also want to play a reaction video here where this woman is basically saying that she feels like Ekane is destroying her kids. And when I tell you I felt every word of that, I'm gonna continue to use this example to speak about another story I'm covering, which is because I don't really talk about Ekane a lot. I can't really stomach to watch them like that, but I had to speak on this particular viral moment because I do feel like awareness needs to be brought to that situation. I'm sure there are a lot of women out here that think that because they're in a bad relationship in which maybe the man is verbally abusive, physically abusive, mentally abusive, they think that it's not a big deal as far as their children because it's only affecting them as the mother, or it's their relationship, not the kid's relationship. But I beg to differ. When you have your children in the home with someone who is abusing you, that is also neglecting those children. That is a form of neglect. When you sit there and allow yourself to continue to go through really, you're allowing a man to be in your home and terrorizing it, disturbing the peace of disturbing your children's peace. So I feel, and I'm not shifting blame from the man. If a man is in your home acting like that, throwing dishes around, being verbally abusive, yes, that is his fault, and he needs to control his own actions because he's an adult. However, once you see that that person cannot control their actions, once you see that they have no emotional control, they can't control themselves, so on and so forth, now it becomes your responsibility when you see they're not in their right mind. As the mom, now it becomes your responsibility to say, okay, I need to step in here and protect my children. And that's what she needs to do. And that's what I see for right now. Now, don't get me wrong, because again, with the DDG situation, he hasn't really released an official statement. I haven't really seen any solid evidence, okay? And not heavy on the solid evidence of her lying or anything like that. And he hasn't responded. But from what has been presented on the internet, we know that she got a restraining order against DDG, right? And we know that she has made these particular allegations. I cannot say that she's a liar. I can't, because I don't know that. So for right now, I'm not going to call her a liar because I don't know that she's lying, right? So, but due to the evidence that she has presented, I would say that she's 100% right. Because if somebody is slamming your head against a steering wheel, in this case, Ekane is getting her plates thrown around the kitchen while the man carrying her daughter. Thank you, Miss Green Eyes, for that super chat. I appreciate you. It now becomes your responsibility to protect that child. Just because, don't think that because someone is only abusing you and they're not abusing the children, or haven't hit the children or cursed at the children, that they're not experiencing abuse as well. Because it is abusive to allow your children to sit there and listen to somebody calling you a bitch. It's abusive to allow them to be exposed to that. It's neglectful to allow a man to take your child out of your home when you see that he's behaving in that fashion in the home with you. It's neglectful to see when somebody has zero emotional control to the point that they'll spaz out right there in front of their child. It is foolish to allow that person to take your child without your supervision. Ekane need to get this man out of her fucking house. Have y'all heard of? I've heard, because I'm a big true crime fan, right? So I've heard of stories where men, these boyfriends or these baby daddies, unalive their girlfriends or their wives or whatever right in front of the kids. Have y'all heard stories like that? That's how deep it gets when somebody doesn't have any emotional control. So if you see that this man could actually have, I mean, it ain't like the baby was in the background. He carrying the baby and still didn't give a shit. But let me play a little bit of this, because what she's saying here, it's deep. It makes sense.
If you don't know what's going on with Ekane, be glad, because it's sad and it's disgusting. So Ekane is in a serious DV relationship with her baby daddy. If they're not in a relationship, they continue to go around each other, and she continues to let him come around, and they do all of this in front of their children. She has a 6-year-old daughter who has literally witnessed the dad throwing food against the wall, breaking into the apartment, and it's just really sad, because at this point, the little girl is starting to blame herself for the way that her dad acts. The other day on live, yes, on live, that's what I'm saying, like, I can't believe this is allowed on TikTok. The dad of the little girl threw a plate of food against the wall. He was screaming. He was talking shit to the mother, and then he left. And then he comes back. He tries to break in through the door, and he's just there to argue again with Ekane. And it's like, they do all of this in front of the little girl, and then when the dad finally left, the little girl is blaming herself for the way that her dad acts. She's like, I'm sorry, mommy. Like, I didn't mean to make daddy mad. I wish I wouldn't have, like, told him to stop, and he wouldn't have screamed and threw the food. And this is for anyone going through a similar situation. I want you to know, and I can say this because I've been through a similar situation, at some point, it does become child abuse when you are allowing a man to continue to come around, knowing that y'all together is traumatizing your children. When your child starts to show signs.
All right now, she said a word. When you are allowing a man to continue to come around, knowing that they have been or are abusive, I'm going to use what Raquel said. That is considered failure to protect, and it is considered to be neglect. You are neglecting the well-being and the needs of your child when you know that someone in your home is an abuser and you're still allowing them and welcoming them in your home. That is neglect, and it is a failure to protect your children, and you are ignoring their well-being. At that point, it becomes your fault. Ekane got to be a damn fool, because I know she loved them kids to death. You should see how they interact when Chris is not around. She's a great mom in every other aspect. She's close to her children. She takes care of those kids. But Ekane is young. I would hate to see her, because people call, somebody just say, yeah, Nita. Somebody will call CPS on somebody for seeing something like that online. So she's really putting not only she's putting her children in danger of being taken from the home. Because why are you allowing this man to keep coming to home? If you know that you continue to agitate him, if you know that you continue to irritate him and provoke him, maybe that's not somebody that you should have around you if y'all can't get along. Because somebody is going to end up seeing that on the internet, and they're going to be concerned about the kids, and then they're going to end up calling CPS. So you have to care more about your kids' well-being than you do about that man. This is relatable to so many different stories, y'all. Because when you think about the DDG and Halle Bailey story, then when you think about this Ekane story, and then when you think about even Brianna and Janelle, right? Every single last one of those women that I just named have gotten backlash for their actions when it comes to how they dealt with the allegedly abusive partner. As a woman, you're going to get backlash regardless of what you do. Therefore, you may as well just do what is in the best interest of your child or children. Ekane continues to make content and stay with a man that is clearly abusive. We see it right there online. Brianna continues to make content, continues to be loud and proud about being with an abuser and allowing her children to be around an abuser. Halle Bailey getting backlash for not allowing her child to be around an abuser. Either way, you're going to get backlash. So you may as well make the right decision and do the right thing. Okay? And the right thing, the backlash that I would prefer to have is for people to think that I'm whatever because I don't want that fool around my child without somebody watching, because he has proven that he has zero emotional control.
Kinds of trauma right in your face, that is when you know that you have taken it too far. You have allowed that man to disrespect you for too long, and you need to go. That is literally the point where you need to go. Not only that, but after the dad left, Ekane's little boy started to have a huge asthma attack. And some people were saying that it was a panic attack because he was so scared that they wouldn't stop yelling. And like, I know that it's hard, and I know they say the whole, it takes 7 times.
So she's sitting up in there arguing and fighting back and forth with that fool. The daughter started to blame herself in the midst of her after Chris leaves. And then after all of that altercation happened, her son starts to have either an asthma attack or an anxiety attack. So you see that mentally, emotionally, and now even physically, because now the arguing has sparked a physical reaction from the son. So now you see that there is an effect on what's going on here. You see that this is affecting the children. Is it that serious to keep that nigga around with his ugly ass? He ain't even cute. I'm serious. And I also believe that the man really harbors some jealousy towards Ekane, because Ekane done got on this here internet, made a name for herself, became super, super successful. A lot of women have to be careful, not even women, just people in general. When you get in a relationship, you need to be with somebody who is on your level. You need to be with somebody who has the ability to advance, if you have the ability to advance. Because if they don't, and they're going to stay stagnant in the same place, they're going to be riding your coattails, and they're going to have some sort of resentment against you because you're shining. You're popular, you're getting money, you're doing all of this stuff, and they're still mentally in the same place. To be honest with you, she don't even look like she should be with Chris. That's just my opinion. Now, I know some people say that she also is not innocent. I don't think she's innocent, because I have seen her get online and say some ignorant shit. I've seen her start fights. I've seen her provoke. I've seen her do all of that stuff, which is why I said that they need to get away from each other. But it was something else to hear her daughter sit there and say, it's my fault that he got mad. It's my fault because I did this or I did that. So something has to give.
To leave, to finally not come back. If you are seeing that your kids are having panic attacks, if you are seeing that your little girl is watching you be disrespected and she thinks that it's okay and she's blaming herself, you've taken it too far. And you are failing as a parent. And I'm sorry to say it, but you are failing as a parent every time you allow a DV man to come back into your home and re-traumatize your children. And when you are finally able to make it out of that relationship, you are going to hate yourself so much. You're going to feel so guilty that you did that to your kids. You're going to feel so guilty that you didn't leave when it first started happening, before you damaged your kids to the point of no return. Because her daughter is 6, and I think her son is older. They're watching all of this. They're going to remember all of this. They're going to have anxiety and PTSD because of this. And I heard that Ekane's pregnant again. Like, I don't know if it's true. She has a bump. Some people say liver problems. Some people say she's actually pregnant. But if she is pregnant, can you imagine bringing another baby into a situation where your kids are already suffering from DV trauma? And one last thing, I know they're both at fault. I know. But as a mother, and if you're the primary caretaker of the children, it is your job to set boundaries and go to the police if you have to. Do what you have to do to keep that man from coming back into your home and into your life. And another reason that I blame her is because even though he does all of this to them, there are still videos where she will say, oh, I can see myself having a whole life with him. I can see us being a family. I want to be with him for life. We just both need to work our differences and work on our anger and work on ourselves and then come back together. You see yourself being with a man who destroys your children for the rest of your life. His behavior alone shows you that he doesn't love his kids, but you want to grow old with him. At that point, yes, that is 100% your fault because you don't even see yourself leaving this man after everything that he does.
I agree 100%. After a while of being victimized over and over and over again, you do, and this is not, see, people use the term blaming the victim a little bit too loosely. It's not blame, it's accountability. After a certain amount of instances that the same thing continues to happen, you have to take accountability and say, hey, at that point, I think I probably could have done something about it, especially as a grown adult. I'm not talking about a child victim. I'm talking about a grown adult. After a while, if things continue to happen to you over and over again, and you see that you are placing yourself in the same situation over and over again, and you are placing your children in the same situation over and over again, and you continue to garner the same results, after a while, some accountability needs to be held on your end. I can't stand a motherfucker that got a bottomless pit of victimhood. Come on. After a certain point, okay, we see what this is. We see what results we're obtaining from our actions. Now, let's take some accountability and say, now it's time to change and do something different. It's only so many times you're going to be able to pull the victim card. Throw Brianna in there. She is one of those people that has a bottomless pit of victimhood. She's a victim of everything and everybody. Now she a victim of the bank. Now the bank done victimized her. Okay, everybody's a victim. The girl done went viral being a victim of a car loan. Like, come on. I can, at a certain point, we got to start taking accountability. Nikki Ray said, I just watched the TikTok earlier. When Ekane said to the kids that what we drinking. And the son said alcohol. Those kids see and hear too much with those parents. And she thinks that type of stuff is cute. But you know what? In a day and age to where social media is so prevalent and people care so much about views and likes and she makes her money from social media. But at what cost? Are you willing to sacrifice your children to social media to make a couple dollars? Because I've seen her children on Instagram or TikTok. I'm sorry. I've seen her children on TikTok cussing, singing nasty songs and everything. And she thinks that that's cute. She thinks it's cute. Cree said, that's what I say. I'm not a victim. It's not victim blaming if you keep placing yourself there. Exactly. Okay, y'all. So now what we're going to do is we are going to change subjects, y'all. Let me pull this picture up because, oh, shoot, what did I do with it? Damn. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Shay, the Shay and Aunt D. They are all over social media, Facebook, TikTok, I believe Instagram. I don't know about YouTube, but they have really blown up on social media. Let me see if I can. They have really blown up on social media because of their content. Now, Shay is, let me see if I can pull up. Oh, shoot. I thought that was a picture. Hold on, guys. With all three of them. I'll show Aunt D in a minute, but let me show Shay and Bria. Can I? Okay, give me a second, y'all. So this is Shay. Don't hit it like it. And let me turn this down. Bria. Look, this is Shay, and I think this is Bria right here. Now, that's Shay over there. if you're looking at how their behavior, so both of them have autism. I think Bria has more of a more severe case of autism than Shay has, because Shay is verbal, Bria is nonverbal. So she communicates a lot through hitting and doing like what people with autism would call stimming. So what you see her doing right there, she's shaking back and forth. So I personally have felt since the beginning that Aunt D is exploiting both of her daughters on social media for money. I still feel that way. I know my opinion may not be so popular, but I believe that she is using their disability for comedy and content. And I really feel like at this point, I just don't like it. At first, I enjoyed watching the videos, but then when I started to see once a person gets a taste of a little bit of money or a little bit of attention and celebrity, they start taking things too far. Now, at first, I enjoyed their videos. I enjoyed watching Aunt D film them and their everyday life. And I even think that Shay met Ariana Grande. So they really have gotten some, and I think that Aunt D is working on getting Shay is a TV show on Netflix called Love on the Spectrum. I believe that's what it's called. So she's working on trying to get Shay on there. So she's really trying to push them and get them some exposure. However, I feel like it gets to a certain point where it's too much. Now, recently, Shay had a seizure, okay? And I'm getting ready to pull that up. Not the actual seizure, y'all, but I'm getting ready to pull up a video of Aunt D after Shay had the seizure. Now, this is what I found to be disturbing. Okay, I'm gonna play it for y'all. Hey, Robin Lots, Brandy, Cree said, I love their content. Hey, Danny, Raquel said a lot of what's going on is senseless. It is. Let me pull this up. Where am I at? Does anybody know where I'm at on my goal? If you guys want to help me get to my goal, you can hit the goal button right underneath my video. I don't even know where I am because I can't see it and I haven't been paying attention. Latay said, being an autistic mom, I don't think she is making them content, but she's showing the world that it's okay to be different. I do think that she is exposing them and showing that it's okay to be different, but I think that she's exploiting them as well, because I follow another mom on YouTube and Facebook. Gosh, I can't remember her name, but she's in the military and she has an autistic son and she does day in the life with him and stuff like that. She makes really good content, talks about some of his quirks. He's nonverbal. She works on him with his independence. She's taught him how to cook, how to do his own laundry, so on and so forth. So I do like that type of content. You know what I mean? But I think that Aunt D's content is becoming tasteless. I'm going to tell you why, and why I feel like it's getting to the point to where it's becoming exploitation and not just content and not just education and exposure about autism. So let me pull this video up. This is the video of, let's see. Okay, so this was directly after Shay had a seizure, okay? Thank you, Nita M, for that super sticker. I appreciate you. So she had a seizure, and I'm gonna tell you what, I was disturbed by the fact that instead of making her way down to the hospital, the first thing Aunt D did was jump on the internet. Your daughter the way she described it is, I guess they were filming, I don't know. Shay went into the bathroom. She heard a big bang or something. She went into the bathroom and she said Shay was bleeding from the mouth and her face started getting darker, turning black or whatever. So she must have called the ambulance. Instead of you worrying about what's going on with your daughter, has your daughter made it to the hospital yet? You know what I'm saying? Has she made it to the hospital yet? How is she doing? Did she make it? Okay. Instead of all of this, she immediately jumped on live. Because somebody in the comments asked her, how long ago did Shay go to the hospital? And she said about 10 minutes ago. So why are you on live? I don't understand that. Hey, Brandy, thank you for your super chat. I'm sorry. Thank you for your super sticker. I appreciate you helping me reach my goal. But let's play a little bit of this, y'all. And I think this is Shekinah. Y'all know who Shekinah is. Shekinah Joe, the one that was Tiny's best friend. The one on Love and Hip Hop. So listen to this.
Shay had a seizure and is in the hospital.
At the same time, Shekinah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, no, I did. Bria's sitting out with wet hair. And she out there having a seizure at the same time. Okay, come on, Bria, let's go.
He called my phone and let me know what's going on, please.
Okay.
I'm praying for y'all.
I don't have your number, though, Shekinah.
I'm finna inbox it. I'm gonna get out here and inbox you.
Well, Shay, I said, Lord, don't let her die. But she was about gone. She turned dark. She
went gone. She went gone. She ain't gone nowhere. She ain't gone nowhere.
Okay.
She ain't gone nowhere. Don't put that out.
I don't know, man. I'm just like, what? Talking about she was about gone. She was about gone. Why are you on the phone with Shekinah Joe? You should have hot-tailed it out of the house. You should have been trailing the ambulance. The first thing you do is jump on live. Oh, you know what, Nita? I didn't know that Tisha Campbell. I thought he was autistic. I like him. I don't follow her on TikTok. I follow her on I see her videos on Facebook, and you can kind of hear like how he talks, that he may be autistic because of his vernacular and the cadence in his speech, but he's very intelligent. But I saw a video of him cooking one time, and I love their content. But I didn't know I didn't want to assume that he was, because you know sometimes when they're high functioning like that, you can't really tell, to be honest with you, unless you just know what to look for. So you just, with him, you have to really just know what to look for to know, I guess. But he's very articulate, very smart. So I do watch Tisha Campbell. I love her content. I'm gonna follow her on TikTok though. I didn't know she was on TikTok. But let's finish this. Thank you, Raquel, for helping me reach my goal. Thank you so much. Some people really don't know better. Yeah, so let me finish playing this, y'all. Look at this. She on the phone.
She ain't going nowhere.
No.
She ain't going nowhere.
Get all your jewelry on. Put it on.
She don't need on no jewelry. Y'all need to get y'all ass up out
You must have got that routine. You know all this jewelry Bria wear.
I know, but right now she don't need no jewelry.
Then she'll start acting up.
No, but you put in your pocketbook. Y'all gotta
put
go.
In my pocketbook. Come on, Bria, let's go.
Y'all really gotta go.
Yeah.
Even Shekinah, this is weird as hell. Even Shekinah is telling her, y'all gotta hurry up and get to the hospital. She said, now I understand one of the signs of, autism is that they have a routine. And if you break them out of their routine, it'll cause sometimes a meltdown or whatever. So they kind of like to do the same things every day, eat the same things, go to bed in the same thing. Sometimes they don't even want to change their sheets because they like the same sheet. The textures bother them. So I get it. They're very particular. But like Shekinah said, throw the jewelry in a purse and let her put it on in the car. And I think Shekinah kind of wanted to say, why are we on live right now? This is going on. You trying to talk to Shekinah on what is this, y'all? What's she on? Instagram or whatever? Or what? Facebook? Why are you trying to talk to her? You know what I'm saying? And this is going on. She done said the babies, she sat there and watched the child. So you can tell that Shekinah is visibly upset and confused as to why she's still on live.
Sonya, I know y'all gotta go because they're gonna try to figure out what made her happy. Come on, Britt, get your jacket. Let's go.
But you need to get up there. You need to get up there and see what's going on. You gotta go in there with your baby.
Y'all gotta go. Get your jacket. Come on, Britt, get your bag. Oh Lord, just so hard, Shekinah.
I know, but you gotta get up there, baby.
Yeah, because she don't understand. Britt don't understand what's going on. And Shayana came through a little bit. She didn't even want to get on the stretcher or anything.
Yeah, but you got to get up there.
Okay, Bree, let's go, baby. Let's go.
You gotta go. You gotta go now.
Okay, I just want to let know what's going on because it's awful. I don't even know how I even done it. Trying to had her, it was awful.
Girl, you done made my nerves so bad, girl. I got to smoke a cigarette, girl.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. My nerves just done got bad, girl. I ain't lying.
I know it's beautiful.
To the hospital, though.
Okay, I'm going
you
right
don't need
now.
nothing to transpire. You went down.
To help me.
Put your hands on.
So this is why I say that it's a certain point where it's no longer educational content. Now I'm gonna show y'all something else. There was also a situation where Aunt D posted on her social media account that Shay, the one that had the seizure, she wasn't in the video, she's the one that had the seizure, went on her first date. Now, the man that she supposed to have went on her first date with, and he was in the video, he actually came forward and said it wasn't a date, that Aunt D, he was a random dude that Aunt D stopped in the mall and asked him to give her daughter words of encouragement. So he sat down to give the daughter words of encouragement, but by the time, and then mind you, the guy is not on social media, so he didn't recognize Aunt D or Shay. By the time he turned around, he done damn near went viral, and people are recognizing him as Shay's first date. And he like, first date? I wasn't even going on no date with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was exploitive. I really do. Why are you picking people to pretend like they're on a date with her for content? She may have autism, but she is a human being. And that would be embarrassing to anybody, to sit there and pretend like she on a date with somebody that she's not on a date with. She's shocked too, and Bria don't play about jury. Yeah. Is something wrong with what you mean, Brandy? When you say it's something wrong with her, I think so. It is, because I remember her saying at a certain point that she had some kind of she was in mental health institutions and stuff. I'm not even gonna say it's alleged because she said it herself that she spent some times in mental hospitals and stuff like that. So she may not be all the way there. But let's take a look at Shay's the content from Shay's alleged first date. The guy come out and say that they were not on a date. Okay, he done went viral for it, and I feel like I felt like it was inappropriate.
The mental health world, a date with Shay. Yes, Lord. How you?
Yo, we back. Y'all want the story time so bad. Y'all was going off on me about this story time. I got them here, y'all.
Fresh off work again.
Yeah, so don't do too much in these comments again.
Fresh off work.
Fresh on work. They want to know what happened. How this blind date started.
Man, first of all, it wasn't a date. I was literally going in the mall to get some bourbon chicken and some noodles for my kids.
For them kids.
So boom, Miss D walked up. She's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine. How are you?" And she was like, "Hey, I got a daughter. She has autism." I'm like, "All right, okay." So then she said she has autism. I just want you, if you can, or if you have time, can you say some nice, kind words to her, kind of uplift her, make her feel better? She ain't been feeling too good.
And not only that, but she was Aunt D walking around the damn mall tricking people into doing content with Shay. If you're gonna have somebody on camera, I don't even know the legality behind that, but if you're gonna have somebody on camera and you're gonna use them for your social media content, I think that it was a bit deceptive to not tell him that the pretense of the content was her being on a date. How you know the man ain't married or something? You know what I'm saying? That to me, that was distasteful. To trick him into thinking that he giving her words of encouragement, and she goes and sits down with him, and then she and records it, and she posted on her page as Shay's first date. That was deceptive.
I don't know what she's talking about because
Shay always irritated.
Right, I don't watch
Shay always irritated.
Let alone be on social media. I really don't be on social media. Like, I got Facebook and I got an Instagram. That's pretty much as far as it goes. And I'm not active at all. So like, I post my family, I post my kids and stuff. But I was just in the mall on lunch break. I gotta stop moving so much. I'm gonna
Lunch break.
crack again.
Getting out work.
You hear me?
He ain't homeless.
Because I had some words for y'all talking about I was homeless.
He
I'm
ain't
real
homeless.
funny like that. You know what I mean? We can go there. But no, I know y'all just riding for y'all girl, man. If I followed them, if I watched them, I'd probably be the same way. But she didn't offer me nothing. Like she offered
from this little thing I'm doing. Yeah, I thought he recognized me from this, and he didn't. Thought he did. But his sister did.
If y'all don't know, that's Aunt D, because I know in the video before she wasn't showing her face. She was well, yes, she did. She did show her face.
what they was doing. I just walked over to say some kind words.
So she basically saying that she didn't feel like it needed to be explained because she just assumed that he recognized her from social media.
And kind of, you know, just be nice. You know, my family messed with me. They say I ain't never some like pictures of her getting glammed up and stuff. That's pretty much all she really showed me as far as the narration goes. Now when we got to the weird part, talking about taking him to the bedroom. Nah.
Do you hear that? Hold on.
Take him to the bedroom. Nah.
That's what I said. Aunt D she made it weird. It wasn't supposed to ever be weird.
Yeah,
like
no bedroom talk, dog. Y'all got.
So she's sitting there talking about asking him to take the girls to the bedroom. This shit is I just
got me in the doghouse for that shit, dog.
You heard him. So he in a relationship, either that or he married, because he said that after she said that on social media, it got him in the doghouse.
All right, so there y'all go. This is how we got here. He just be doing shit, just be in the mall doing stuff, and that's how we got here. So there y'all go. That's the story time y'all wanted. It was not real, y'all.
I guess she looked kind of young, but I guess that's his girlfriend or his wife or something like that.
I think that I don't know. I don't want to put too much on the auntie lady. I still don't really know who she is.
I think she just be getting overstimulated fast. It'd be a lot going on.
And I could tell that. I could tell, like, I don't know. I felt maybe what irritated her was being cut off. You know what I mean? Because she was talking and she was going through a thought process and she was just being loud. So, like, she couldn't really finish what she was saying. So that's when she get the huffing and puffing and stuff. But she freely took her phone out. You know what I mean? She showed me the Ariana Grande stuff, and wish we got to that point because I told her I like your shirt, I like your fit, you look good, you look swaggy, and she like, you know, Ariana Grande, it's Ariana Grande, and then I pretty much told her, I was like, her mom said they was famous or whatever, so I asked her like, hey, I heard you was famous, and she's like, yeah, you know, and then she pulled out her phone, she showed me her doing a solo, showed me some like pictures of her getting glammed up and stuff. That's pretty much all she really showed me as far as the narration goes. Now when we got to the weird part, talking about taking him to the bedroom.
Okay, so I'm gonna end it right there because he basically explained that he was basically tricked to get onto Aunt D, Shay, and Bree's social media. I don't think it was fair to him. I think it was deceptive. And I'm side-eyeing Aunt D because why would you find a random man inside the mall, record him and say it was Shay's first date, and then start talking about the bedroom and sexual activity with a man that you, excuse me, with a man that you don't know from a can of paint pertaining to your autistic daughters, who really depend on you to make sound decisions for them. I thought that was crazy. I think that we are living in a time where it's okay to exploit your family, your children, or whoever else to make a quick dollar. And I don't think that it is right. I don't think that is right. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, I wanted to find this picture. Now, I'm not going to completely trash her, Aunt D, because I will say this, right? So, a lot of what Aunt D is doing let me pull this down. A lot of what Aunt D is doing is giving them exposure and it's putting them in position to where they get to meet famous people. They're being offered a lot of different opportunity. Like I said earlier, Shay is getting ready to, or I don't know if she's getting ready to, but I do know that her mom is trying to put her on Love on the Spectrum, which is a popular show on Netflix where people with with not disabilities but autism, their attempt at finding love is followed and televised. And I think she would do good on the show. So Aunt D, from what she's doing, is giving her daughters exposure. And I think that Aunt D done got a taste of fame and she don't know what to do. Um, this is a picture of Shay literally meeting Ariana Grande. Now that's big. Ariana Grande is one of the biggest stars right now, one of the biggest actors. I don't know if I would say in the world, but she's very, very famous, worth millions of dollars. And Aunt D put Shay in position to meet her. So I'm not going to trash her completely because she is doing things to get them in a good space and to get them to be around people that can offer opportunity. But I do think that there comes a point in time where, you know, you're allowing fame to consume you. Because when it gets to a point that your daughter done had a seizure and she doesn't have to get taken to the hospital and you're still on live recording, that's when you got to check yourself. So this is a picture of Shay Ariana Grande here. So I like I said, I think that they're going to do something great. But at the end of the day, I just hope that Aunt D does not allow herself to continue to be consumed or taken over by fame to the point where she forget what matters. So you guys, thank you for watching this live. I'm coming back later on tonight. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the likes, the views, the super chats, super stickers, and however else you guys supported me monetarily. If you were unable to, thank you for hitting that like button and thank you for hitting that subscribe button if you weren't subscribed already. I will see you guys later with a different topic. All right, y'all. Peace.